Hey folks, the panellists are all in the green room. They'll be here in a moment. And I've got tonight's letters. First one tonight, have a look at the title of this one. Let's face it, it's not easy to meet great guys. Why is it titled like that? He's a cross-dresser. Second letter tonight, the greatest collection of world-renowned science professionals have come together to say we need to do something about global warming, and our Environment Minister advocates for this thing called clean coal. And the last letter they'll be talking about tonight, sad story. She tries her best to be accepted, but my family won't let her in. Why not? You'll hear all about it. Stay with us, sweet and sour, right now. Got a problem, big or small, would a miracle be nice? Our motley crew is back, churning out advice. You might even laugh a bit in the following half hour. Park your backside on the couch, cause baby it's time for Sweet and Sour. Right here on Sweet and Sour.
Pour some sugar on there, baby.
It's time for Sweet and Sour.
How's about some chili?
It's time for Sweet and Sour. Lovely to have your company. Gary Mitchell with you for the next, well, chat-filled half hour, and some terrific panellists for you tonight. First timer on the show. It's been a while coming. Declan, how are you, sir?
Oh, I'm great, Gary.
Nice to have you here, mate.
Thank you. It's great to be here, finally.
This show's been going for 20 years, and I can't believe this is the first time we've got you on this panel.
Long-time watcher, but first-time panellist.
Oh, good on you, mate. Terrific to have you. Hello, Beck.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm well, thank you. All good.
Done with the holidays?
Holidays are over, but you know, before we know it, it'll be Christmas and the holidays are back again.
It's coming.
And, you know, who can believe we're in mid-October?
I know.
Already?
I know. By the time this gets to air, it's probably
Why am I getting older?
2020. Who knows?
Getting younger? It's just, it's crazy.
Speak to our makeup lady. Speaking of which, you occupied the whole makeup room tonight. Hello, Miss Shelley.
Hello, Gary.
Your makeup looks particularly lovely tonight.
I have to say, it's very
She brought her own.
Thank you. Yeah, I did. Her name is Savan Rose, and she's a fabulous makeup artist.
Savan Rose. Hello. Thank you, Savan Rose.
I can't see, but
for bringing Miss Shelley.
somewhere.
Miss Shelley's been AWOL for the last 2 years. Where you been living?
Oh, gosh, I've been based out of Melbourne. Because I love the winters there. Not really.
Of course you do.
I've been over to Lombok, Indonesia, Bali, Sydney.
I got the whole travel guide. Aren't I glad I asked? Hello, Peter Vlahos. How are you, sir?
Good, thanks, Gary. Thanks for the invite. It's just ironic, isn't it, really? The first time I've been on Sweet and Sour, and you get my old radio boss on. Any chance of reuniting at another forum, but I've got my old radio boss here on the other end of the panel. Unbelievable.
Just to make you feel comfortable, Pete.
Yeah,
you know, we go to
much.
the extra lengths here.
I rang him and said, what are you doing tonight? Little did we know we're going to be on the same panel together here in this TV studio. So there you go.
Good to have you here, Pete. Good to have you here, Declan. Nice to have you back too.
Thanks for having me.
And always
back.
good to have you here too. Here we go. Letter one, putting on the TITZ. Anyway, here we go. Dear panel, let's face it, it's not easy to meet great guys. You know, the ones who actually want a relationship, who are not afraid of commitment, who are fun, love your family and friends, and who share similar values. Well, 6 months ago, I met such a guy. At 34, most of my friends are married, and I was starting to think I'd be left on the shelf. The man of my dreams strolls into my life, smart, confident, alpha male, sportsman, kind, considerate, and great in bed. He loves the way I dress and buys me gifts, especially sexy lingerie. I was going to do it like a Scotsman there. Sexy. He is highly turned on to see me in lingerie, and it's a big feature in our lovemaking. Last week, I came home to find him in my lingerie, and he was highly aroused being caught. I was confused and upset, and he told me he's not a cross-dresser, but he wears women's lingerie almost every day. He says it's just normal to him, and he loves the way he looks and feels, and it shouldn't make a difference what he wears. I really thought this was the one for me, but I'm turned off at the thought and the sight of him in women's lingerie. Am I being too prudish? Are people's fetish deal breakers? Please help me, as I'm too embarrassed to talk about it. It comes to us from Penny of West Torrens in South Australia. Well, now you know what's happening in South Australia, folks. Goodness me. Okay, Beck.
Right. Oh, Penny. For me, this would be a deal breaker, I think.
It's apparel. Don't judge a man by his clothes.
Well, yeah, each to their own, and I'm all for individuality, so I'm not, I'm not discriminating in there. But for me, Yeah, I'd rather keep my clothes, my shoes, my handbag, my everything.
And he was in, of all things, her lingerie.
Yeah, no. And
That he'd bought.
That's even...
That he'd bought her.
Well, what, so he claims because he's bought it, he can now wear it, it's his? Sorry. Look, I just think that they've been together 6 months now. Sure, maybe not the first couple of weeks, but maybe should have come out and had a bit of a chat. But, look, on the flip side of that is, if he's the man of your dreams and you love him, then maybe you just need to go and work on it and get a little bit of counselling and try and get through this. But for me, the bond's broken. I couldn't even find him attractive. It would just be so ridiculous.
That's it, no counselling for you if this
No, I
happened.
I couldn't.
That was it. See you later.
Well, you'd be competing again. Like, what? Does he want to wear it while I'm wearing it? No.
No.
No, it's just not for me.
Well, not for me. All right, Declan, what do you do here, sir?
Well,
And they're a lovely pair of lace knickers down there.
they're just a bit tight. Look, I disagree slightly with Beck.
Yep.
If Penny reads the first sentence of her letter, it's taken her a long time to meet a man of her dreams. Give it some time. I think the bigger issue here is that he's wearing your lingerie. Don't you? I mean, he really should. If he wants to buy
get his own?
Well, I mean, sit down, talk to him, see why he does it, but don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. Try and understand what it's all
Declan
about.
says it's worth holding on to.
It's worth pursuing to see why he does it. She gives him big raps in every other way, and okay, she would have got a shock. I can fully understand that, but don't just give up on this.
Normal to feel uncomfortable about this.
Absolutely.
How long do you give it?
Well, I think she needs to get to the bottom of why he does it. Try and understand him. Yes, he should have explained earlier on in the relationship, but he seems to have a lot of attributes, and you know, Penny, I think you should give it a bit of time, try and understand why, and make sure he buys his own lingerie.
Then we're shopping together.
Absolutely.
Pete, your mate says give him a little bit of time.
Now, Gary, honestly, smart, confident, alpha male, sportsman, kind, considerate and great, but no one is as perfect as that. So he's got to have a bit of a thing in the closet, and there's he's got something in the closet that's too good to be true, that he's that perfect. This is his fallback position. 34's not old.
34 is not old.
Is not old. Take your
it's not
time.
old.
In the end, it's better that he's come out in your lingerie now because you found out something about him. Put him away and move on. That's all I can say. Put him away and move on.
No hope on this one.
Yeah.
All right, Shelley, ever been out with a cross-dresser?
Well, I know quite a few cross-dressers.
It's not the same thing.
In fact, I had a really great night at it was drag bingo at Stonewall in Sydney a couple of weeks ago. That was a lot of fun. Hi, everyone. All my friends at Stonewall.
Probably
And
a letter writer from there.
Drag bingo.
Drag bingo.
I'm just wondering if, Penny, is the reason that you're so upset because he's actually stretching out your underwear? Yeah. I would be a little bit annoyed at that part of it. But why don't you try
you're with
wearing
Declan.
some dress-ups
He
as well?
should get his own.
Yeah.
That's all.
No, but you could, yeah, they could have it as a, you know, a coupley thing and both dress up.
Yeah, but the novelty
It goes both ways. Well, the elastic goes up. That's what I'd be worried about.
We asked you people at home to answer this question for us. Would you feel comfortable in your relationship if your partner was a cross-dresser? Now, this absolutely astounded me. Have a look at that. It's almost 50-50. 48% of people said yes, they'd feel comfortable. I can't get that either. And maybe it's because it's one of those things. You're either a definite yes or a definite no. And have a look at our panel. 2 of us said, yeah, give it a go, and 2 of us said no. But I've got to be in the no category. Ooh. When we come back, we're going to be talking about this thing called clean coal. Does it exist? Who knows? When we come back, more of Sweet and Sour and our terrific panel. And sour, right here on Sweet and Sour.
Pour some sugar on there, baby.
It's time for Sweet and Sour. Welcome back to Sweet and Sour, and if you'd like to send us a letter, send it to the social media contact points that you can see on your screen right now, and there's a whole heap of them. How many is there, Beck? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Don't forget the bell at the bottom.
And that means there's just no excuse. If you want to send us a letter, there you go, many contact points. And for everyone who does send us a letter, we're going to send you to the movies, courtesy of our very beautiful Natalie Cameron and NRC Communications. And this week, We're not sending you to any movie in particular. We're going to send you just to the movies of your choice at Palace Cinemas. Thank you, Nat. There you go. OK, here we go. It's The Planet Stewbird, the title of Letter 2. So we have an Environment Minister who hasn't a clue what her job is, either that or hasn't an ethical bone in her body. The greatest collection of world-renowned science professionals comes together to make clear the urgent need to reduce global warming, and this Environment Minister takes the opportunity, using all the science acumen she doesn't have, to step out of her portfolio and advocate against the environment, to campaign for a figment of her imagination and the imagination of all the other bought-off politicians, namely this marketing fabrication called clean coal. I voted Liberal all my life. I can't do otherwise, but I'm not an idiot. When greater understandings are being dangerously and blatantly politically diluted for the almighty coal lobby, it's pretty obvious our politicians now only represent the billionaires and not us. Please send a message to all the Queensland politicians and this pathetic minister that we know they're on the take, or the coal gravy train. Panellists, how do we change this? I can't vote Labor. They want to take my investment property off me. The current severe environmental concerns far outweigh any coal concerns, and it comes to us from Sirius of Mount Clermont in WA. Declan, how serious should we be about this?
Kaz, I think we have to be very serious. I mean, global warming, who knows what's really happening? I genuinely think there is changes in the world weather. I think the only thing serious you can do is the ballot box. I mean, one voice, you've got to go and talk to friends, you've got to talk to family, you've got to talk to politicians. You mentioned your letter, you voted Liberal all your life, you don't want to vote Labor. Serious, there's a party called the Green Party, and perhaps they may take a stance on what you want to do. As regards your investment property, I think I wouldn't worry too much about your investment property, because if the global warming is serious, you won't need to worry about it.
You won't need to worry about anything.
But being serious, I would say lobby your friends, maybe talk, get away from your Liberal, get away from your Labor. I don't mean to get political, but there is a party called the Green Party that seems to be very much up your street on this, and that's perhaps what my advice would be. Talk to them, see what they represent.
All right. Beck, I was talking to a mate of mine who worked for a minister the other day, and he said, you know, they are inundated with noise that just comes from corporations and plenty of the big boys. Very few of us get to go and sit down with our politicians because their appointment schedules are all taken by the corporations.
Of course, and it's in and out, and it's, you know, then signing off and off you go.
They haven't got space.
So, from what I'm gathering, this is the Queensland Environment Minister. So,
no, it's Melissa Price, who's the federal Environment Minister.
Okay,
she came out and said...
I've got that all wrong. Okay. So what
the two portfolios used to be together. Energy and environment used to be together, but ScoMo split them up.
But this is about the coal and the coral, correct? So part of this plan would see huge exports of coal, which are going over to India. So the Great Barrier Reef is where it has to be expanded in order for this to accommodate extra traffic. So I had a look at it, and there it is right there, this big coal mine, and there's the Great Barrier Reef all around it. It's like, you know, I get it. It's going to release huge plumes of soil, debris all over the reef. So I get where they're coming from. So what do we do? I mean, if it goes ahead, burning coal from the mine would create billions of tonnes of pollution, making climate change even worse, and really irreversibly.
We have to transition.
The Great Barrier Reef. So, you know, the question here is to dig or not to dig.
Well, I would say not to dig. I keep hearing that, you know, coal is old and not too many nations are actually investing in coal anymore.
Well, India is. India will.
Well, India is one of those things who says they're going to be out of it. Well, that's just Adani.
Yeah, okay.
Adani's a bit of a fraud, if you ask me. I don't know. But, you know, it looks like we don't have a mind to actually take all of those people who are in Queensland employed by the coal industry and shift them into newer technologies.
And it's at the port on Abbott Point, so it's right on a point.
Right there.
And it's massive.
Shell, how do you feel about this?
Oh, well, you know, I'm not really up on the take with politics, but I try my best.
Don't worry about politics. What about the issues?
Okay. Well, one thing I do know, well, I understand that to be a minister or in that position most of those people have had a position of that in the mining sectors, and perhaps this particular lady, what she's about is bringing as much money and revenue into Australia to bring our country back up. From a personal level, I'm just wondering, couldn't some of that money be used for a sustainable resource that, such as our wind farms?
Okay.
And solar energies.
Pete, to you, final word on this one.
Simple answer. One voice is not going to change anything, Gary. I've worked in the media all my life. You get somebody like Sirius of Mount Claremont, a broadcaster, an influential person in the media, use people power to highlight it all, and you may get something done. One voice from Mount Claremont in WA is not going to change anything. Get people to believe they're in an influential position to believe what you're all about.
Yeah, and people collectively have never been more powerful. They're all scared of social media and a collective voice at this point in time. Some people understand that, and they're the ones who are actually getting things done. We asked you at home to answer this question for us. Should the Environment Minister resign for pushing clean coal? Well, have a look what you said. Here we go. 83% of people said yes. 17% of people said no. That's huge. And that's, that's a lot of people from WA like that voting there. And WA is a very liberal state. But we're a very clever state too, I'd like to say. Thank you. When we come back, we're going to be talking about tugs of war in families. Oh yes, we've all had those, haven't we? Well, some have, some haven't. When we come back, more of Sweet and Sour.
Sweet and Sour. Right here on Sweet and Sour.
Pour some sugar on there, baby.
It's time for
Welcome back to Sweet and Sour. Here we go. Last letter of the evening. Hello, Mitch and panellists. I was born in Australia to Indian heritage. My partner and I have been dating for 14 months. She is the most amazing girl I've ever met, and she makes me laugh like no other, and we feel our future is with each other. It's a lovely thing to write, isn't it? The problem is, my parents and friends don't like her at all. They think I can do better. Whenever we do family get-togethers, they completely ignore her, talk about my ex, bring out photos and completely try to undermine my new relationship. My girlfriend is so humble and very understanding. She doesn't hold me responsible. She tries her best to be accepted, but my family just won't let her in. Last week at a family gathering, I saw her crying on the porch. She tried to cover it up to protect my family bond. How do I get my family to see her for who she is? How do I stop the game of being pushed to choose one over the other? I risk losing the woman I love, as she will never stand between me and my family, nor can she tolerate for much longer being outcast from my family. I really don't see a solution, so what can I do here, please? And it comes to us from a Ravi of Altone in Victoria. Shelley.
Oh dear, that's so sad, isn't it?
Sad.
Oh, it is sad.
Woman of his dreams.
Oh, exactly, and they laugh and like no other and have a future together. You know what? I think they should run away together. And that she should be doing some really great Indian cooking classes and make really hot vindaloo curry. And just...
Not bad advice.
Yeah, but sometimes you just gotta carve your own life.
Cut the apron strings.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
That's short and sweet.
You can always go back for Christmases, if you do Christmases, or,
I'd be
send them
sending
Christmas
a few curries
cards.
back.
I don't know. It's a horrible situation. Pete, any idea why families think they have the right to do that sort of thing?
Well, I don't know. It's like Bend It Like Beckham in reverse, in a sense, isn't
Yeah.
it? Really? Did you see that movie?
Yeah,
Well, it's a similar
fantastic.
situation. But all I'm saying is that if you feel confident enough and your parents know that you're going to make a right decision, try and make them understand that this is the girl for you. You're making the right decision. She respects you as my parents. She will take on board any traditions or customs that go with the territory. And in the end, try to make them understand that this, in the long term, don't be narrow-minded, in the long term, work out best for the family as a whole.
No matter what they do, this is the girl that you're going to take. You just take a strong stand, I think.
Exactly.
Goodness me. And you know what? If it doesn't work out, they can turn around and say, well, I told you so, and big deal to that anyway. We asked you people at home, before we asked Declan and Beck their views, we asked you at home to answer this question. Can a long-term relationship with your partner's family ever really improve? Well, here's what you said. 66% said no. 34%...
No, that's a
Oh,
yes.
66% said yes.
Just testing. 66% said yes. Thank you for the specs. Yep. Yes, it can improve. 34% who've been through it say no, it will never be the same again. All right, Declan.
Ravi, grow a pair of kahunas.
Oh, that's exactly what I've written.
I think so too.
Oh, great minds think alike, Beck.
Exactly what I've written.
Grow a pair.
Your girlfriend,
Stand up.
she's been bullied, she's been disrespected.
And what's he doing?
Yeah.
Nothing. And I suspect if he does stand up, the family will fall into line.
And that's why they're doing it, because they can do it. You haven't
Absolutely.
given them a boundary.
Yeah.
That's all.
No time
How
for it.
ridiculous.
Ravi, stand up to your family, tell her she's the girl for you, and I think they will fall into line.
Beck,
Yeah,
last
it's
word
easier
last
said
word
than
to a
done,
woman.
though, isn't it, though? You know, when you're the son and you've got to, whether it's Middle Eastern, European, or whatever, parents that have come down, the mummy's
Tug
boy
of war.
kind of thing.
I'd be running away.
They're
but
Indian.
I've said the same thing, you know, grow some balls, Ravi.
Doesn't make a difference what nationality you are.
I know, but I think if you love this girl and you want to be with her and you've been with her 14 months, it is, I can't really say anymore, except it is time to stand up.
Yeah.
And don't bring her to the family things. How often do you see your mum? You know, maybe you go over once a week, but go on your own. But don't bring your...
But is that then, catering to them?
It is.
Well, it is. Well, yes, okay, it is. So he does. He needs to stand up and say, well, when I bring her here, you will treat her with the same respect that I treat everybody else in this family, and you will like her. And this is my decision. You've brought me up to be, this great young man. Please trust in my judgment.
Yep.
Okay.
And I think he should be just putting his arm around her and
reassuring her.
and
There's
saying,
one question that we haven't addressed. Why is it that the friends don't like her either? You know, the problem is my parents and friends don't like her.
Well, maybe there is an issue there.
Well, maybe the friends are from the parent.
Does that carry any more weight, or
Can
should
we
you
get
do
Ravi on the phone?
Can you do?
Ravi.
Should you do anything because the friends don't
I
like
don't
her
really
at all?
care. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't
Your
matter?
Friends and family doesn't matter. If you love someone and you're with them and it's been 14 months, it doesn't matter.
We're going to take a vote. Okay, all those who say your friends should be treated like your parents and you've got to stand up, raise your right hands,
They
please.
shouldn't be friends. Oh, they shouldn't be friends.
Can you say it again?
Raise your right hands if you should stand up to, if you think you should stand up to your friends as well. Put them in the same boat as your
yes,
parents.
absolutely.
Very much so.
They shouldn't be called friends. If the parents is one thing,
They're
but friends
frenemies.
is another. That's not.
Who do you take your advice from in these situations? Anybody? Or is it just a personal yardstick?
Yeah, me.
Friends never come into it?
Well, yes, but I'm not going to dump somebody but if 14 months, maybe a couple of weeks if they've said, oh, look, there's some signs here. He's happy. My friends, just because it's not mine, I might not get on with him or her.
Say goodnight, Beck. We've got to go. You hear that music? The credits are running. We've got to go. Declan, terrific to have you here, sir.
Yaz.
Will you come back and see us again?
I would love to. I can cross it off the bucket list.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Good to have you here. The bucket
Love
list. We're on someone's bucket list, isn't it? Good night, hon.
Good night.
When's Kids a Buzz kicking back in?
It's kicked in. It's kicking goals now. Big goals. It's all
Ooh, Miss Shelley, are you coming back soon?
I am. I'd love to. I've missed Perth and Adelaide.
Nice to have you back here.
Care about you.
And Adelaide.
No.
Okay, fair enough. And
Where
Adelaide
were
and
we on?
Melbourne.
Where was the-
Yeah,
where's the show
we'll go
to?
through. We'll tell you. Pete,
Good on you,
terrific to have you here,
Great
sir.
being here. Thanks for the invitation.
Will you come back too?
Yeah, it was good fun. It was
Thank
good
all of
fun.
our wonderful panellists. Thank our terrific crew, and thanks for having us at home tonight, Australia. Good night, everyone. This is where you wave, Pete.
Okay,
Declan,
here we
that's
go.
it now. Okay. You remember the Beverly Hillbillies? Where you did it?